I thought we could look at how MIDI works in JamCam and just explore it, see what you can do with it. All right, so what we have here now is just JamCam booted up, and it's connected via an adapter that goes through iRig, like an iRig Pro. I'm using this because the TR8 that I'm gonna drive the MIDI with is not class compliant or USB class compliant. That means that it doesn't automatically connect to it as a MIDI device without needing some driver. So if that's the case, then you need some kind of USB to Lightning adapter. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just, this can take in audio and MIDI. So that's basically what I have here. Yeah, so let's create a new project like that. Cool. Yeah, you can think of this as like each of these is controlling a video synth. So when you go into edit controller, you basically edit how the video synth is triggered. And we trigger this right now manually, but we're gonna map it to MIDI. So I'll press map to MIDI and it's listening, and then I can just play what I want to trigger it with, and it automatically connects to it. If it doesn't, could be that there was some interruption with the connection while the app was open. If that happens, just restart the app. I've seen that happen sometimes, and it can just handle one connection at a time. So if that happens, you just need to reboot it. All right, cool. So that's that. Now there's a setting here that says MIDI type. MIDI type can be set to synthesizer, or it can be set to drum machine. And what this does is that it handles the signal a little bit differently. Because when you're driving JamCam from a drum machine, often the MIDI signal that is sent for each instrument envelope, like when it triggers, that trigger signal is very fast, and it is so fast that JamCam won't really react to it. So basically, when you set it to drum machine, it kind of adds its own envelope. So it gets the impulse, but then it fades it on its own, so that you still get the signal, and it just doesn't disappear. So you can probably notice this if you press it to synthesizer, then it just reacts normally. You can see here, because when I press it like manually, you get the signal as you expect it. And we can drive it like to a darker, maybe like this, and then it's also fading it using the envelope time here, attack and decay. So we can make that a little faster, go like that. All right, so if we would, now that works fine because we're driving it manually, but let's say we do this via this clock here. You see it's so fast, you basically don't see it at all. Like, even if I try to control it with the envelope, it just doesn't really, yeah, it comes through a little bit. But if you're not happy with that, you can change it to drum machine, and you will get a more accentuated kind of effect. All right, so that's cool. We got the first one in, and let's add something for the snare. All right, so what I want to do then is just go into whatever is going to drive the snare. Let's say it's this one, and then we just take the color flip. Color flip is quite cool because it both inverts and change the color tone. So let's do something like that. Map it, And let's just hit the snare like that. And now the attack is so slow. Let's change that a little bit. Cool. I'm gonna change the order of those two. Sweet. Because the order is important and it's a little bit unintuitive, maybe at first sight, but how it's layered is basically this one, the bottom corner, right corner one, that's the first one, and then it kind of layers on top of that, going to the left, the next row starting from the right going to the left, and the next row starting from the right going to the left. So this is basically the lost in the queue, so to speak. This one being the first one in. So let's do something for like closed hi-hat maybe. So let's go here. And what could we do? Maybe we could add some, I don't know, VHS kind of noise. And what we could do here is basically let this go all the way up so it kind of hides the screen a little bit like that. And let's, all right, so that's kind of cool. So now when we go in with a kick, we get that. Let's do some kind of, with a snare, maybe we could zoom it or something. So let's go with mirror zoom. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. So we can add some master effects on this just to get a little bit more vibe into it. So basically, I just add filmic, would kind of change the darker tones, brings them up a little bit together with some other nice stuff. Maybe we could add like I don't know, a little bit of a glitch, just a little one, like subtle. Let's also do, let's say, maybe let's do like a height field, and we could probably drive this via audio since that's coming in as well. Maybe it's getting too much then, I don't know. I think that's a little cool. And let's also add feedback to that. Maybe add the feedback more in the beginning. Cool. I'm not really happy like with I'm not really happy with how the snare hits, because I would like it to be more visible. I'm gonna add invert to that as well. Maybe I'll remove the color flip. That's cool. Maybe it's a little bit too much. I'll remove the height field, I think, and maybe the feedback as well. Let's do the zoom, that goes zoom in instead. Yeah, that's cool. And let's add a pre-FX, like on the master effects you can add it pre the chain or post the chain. So let's maybe go with some cool, no, not that, let's try false color maybe. Yeah, that's cool. Let's try adding a video so we'll get a little bit more interesting thing to work with. I want the kick to be a bit more accentuated. I think it's a bit sluggish. And I think it doesn't really make sense that the hi-hat kind of goes too much, so it gets a bit dark when they hit, so let's do like that. And let's do it brighter as well. That's cool. And do it even quicker. That's nice. Now you kind of feel it. So maybe we could add kind of fisheye look when it comes in. Let's zoom it out a little bit. I have a feeling that like this fisheye kind of zooms the image a little bit, so I like to put a zoom just behind it. That's cool. All right. You can. I'm hooking up the delay level to controller, and that's sending CC. So that's basically doing connection to making a slider connection, which is really nice. Let's do something like that. Okay, cool. Let's try that. Another cool thing that you can do is, where do we have it? Like the snare. If we make this instead a slider, it goes with the velocity. That's quite sweet actually. But it also doesn't have a decay, so you just have to live with that. It's just very fast. So now basically when we move the kick up, follows the velocity of it, how intense it gets. Yes, that's basically how you can drive Jamcam using a MIDI device, such as a drum machine. And in the latest version, you can drive via CC as well, and I think that really opens up a lot of possibilities on what you can do with video. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.